Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Pandian. Good evening, everyone. And first of all, Happy New Year 2022. And I hope and pray that 2022 is your best year ever, right? So let's keep the spirits up for this year and make it count to the maximum. All right, so we are going to talk about evaluations today. And what I want you to do right now, right at the beginning, is to put this onto your resolutions list for 2022 that you're going to sparkle at evaluations. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I say this. First of all, according to me, evaluation is one of the simplest things that there is there in Toastmasters. It's easier than table topics, definitely. It's smaller than an international speech because that's what you're evaluating. And it's definitely easier than trying to make somebody laugh, right? So off the lot, I would say evaluation is the easiest of all. Let's pick that. Let's get really good at it. Second of all, evaluation is good because the purpose of evaluation is to help someone improve. You are trying to help somebody else improve. And in that process, you're helping everyone improve, including yourself. So definitely it's a good thing that you're doing, and good things are always nice, right? Because karma goes around and comes around. So it's definitely a good thing to do. Today, we're going to discuss a few techniques about evaluation. I'm sure you've heard all of these before. There's nothing new that I'm going to present, but let me see if there's something from my experience that I can share with you, which will help you more on your journey. All right. So let me just share my screen and okay, here we go. Now, one thing I guarantee is in my session, you're not going to hear that evaluation is the feedback of champions. You've heard that 500 times, I'm sure, from everywhere. So that's something you're not going to hear from me. All right. So let's look at what the structure of a basic evaluation looks like. Now, this is as per the judge's ballot for the evaluation speech contest. For those of you who've never participated in an evaluation speech contest before, how it happens is there is a target speaker, a speaker who comes up and presents a 7-minute speech, and all the evaluators are making notes at that point of time. Once the speech is over, the evaluators are taken to a separate room. In the case of Zoom, it will be a breakout room where they have 5 minutes to prepare the notes. Okay, and based on the draw of lots, you are called one by one to come and present your evaluation, and you are judged based on who has given the best evaluation of all. Right. So the criteria for this judging is like this: 40% of the marks is for your analysis of that speech, which in our normal language we call the positive areas of that speech, right? Then is the recommendations, which forms around 30%. So this is what we call areas of improvement, suggestions that we give. 15% is on the technique of your presentation, and last 15 marks is for the summation, which is something we never do at the club, but in the contest, you absolutely have to remember to do that summary right at the end. It could be just 1 or 2 lines saying, in summary, these are what I thought were good. These are the areas of improvement. And if you put these, you'll be able to deliver this speech better. Now, let's dive directly into it and look at the structure of a really good evaluation. So I'm going to cover this in 3 areas. One is how you prepare for an evaluation. Second is how you're going to present your evaluation. And third is the secret tip known as how you're going to package it so that you can win or do well in that particular contest. All right. Sounds like a plan. So let's look at what preparation means. Now, as I mentioned, the target speaker is up there and he or she is presenting their 7-minute speech, and you are making notes there. What do you have to note down? So what I want you all is anybody can just unmute and tell me when or what you would note down probably from that speech. What do you think are key areas that you should be watching out for? Anyone can just shout out a few of suggestions. I'm sure all of you will be right. So
some positive aspects.
Positive aspects. But what would you look at? I mean, what are you observing?
Language,
the body language.
The body language, yes. The structure of the speech. The structure of the speech.
Vocal variety.
Their vocal variety, absolutely right.
Strength. His or her strength.
All right. So let's divide this into a couple of sections, right? So one is content. Let's talk about content. What would you look at in the content of a speech? So you would look if there was a good story in there, maybe there were some good characters in there. Was there a specific message to that speech? Was the opening, intriguing? Did it captivate your attention right at the beginning? Was the closing nice, impactful, strong? Okay? Then that's part of the content. Then you may look at the delivery of it. So in the delivery, you would look at, was the body language good? Was the vocal variety strong? Was there, clear distinguishing characters? And was it, powerful, impactful expressions, gestures? Typically, anything and everything that happens on stage is what you look at, right? So observe closely and, make your notes at that point of time of every single thing that you see on stage. When does it start? When do you start observing? You start observing from the moment the speaker goes up or starts the first, whatever, verbal, non-verbal, whatever is there. If it's on stage in person, you look at the way he or she comes, shakes hands with the contest chair and sets his position. From there, you're evaluating. Oh, you seemed confident right at the beginning and you started with strength. Okay, you're observing every single thing that happens. Once the speech is over, how was that last action that they gave? How did they leave? All of that is being evaluated. You observe not only that, you observe maybe the clothes they're wearing. Were they comfortable in it? Was that hampering their movement? In a Zoom session, you would watch how the camera is placed. All right. Is it giving a full view of the speaker? When the speaker's hands are gesturing, is it getting cut in the view? Is it within the frame? Is the position enough for the speaker to show their movements, or is he or she going out of frame? Are you able to hear clearly? Should that speaker have been a little closer? Any of these, all of these will be observed by you, and you put this into your notes. You can use certain templates like, the COD template is content, organization, delivery, or you can just go with what I saw, what I heard, and what I felt. My suggestion is when you're making notes, just go for everything that you have learned in your pathways, in the projects that you have done, and the first thing that you hear of the speech, even before the speaker starts, is the title of the speech, right? So is the title intriguing? Is it, is it leaving you in anticipation of what's going to come? A lot of questions that are there. Or when you hear the title, do you know exactly what the speech is going to be all about? And is the suspense completely gone? Right? So a good captivating title itself brings the audience into your speech. So watch out for all of these things. What is the body language, conclusion, characters, every single thing that you see. Note it down. Now, when you see something itself, there are certain points that you feel could have been an improvement, right? So I would say in your notes, mark it. This could be an improvement. This could be an improvement. Whatever you like, just go in sequence as it happens, because you don't want to miss anything. You don't want to create too many sections. My suggestion would just be that you take your paper and maybe fold it in half. And you just start writing the positives and the negatives on two sides. In case there is anything negative you feel, just bring it to one side of it so that it's clearly distinguished, or you could just mark it there itself. I like to use red and green, but if you have time for that, do that. Otherwise, fair enough, just write with one pen. Doesn't matter. Just be able to distinguish what you felt was a negative, which could be improved. You can write what the improvement was later on. You don't have time because things are happening on stage at that time, and it deserves your complete attention. Attention is one thing that is mandatory when you are evaluating, whether it's a contest or it's a club meeting. When that speaker is there, you need to pay full attention because they've spent some time preparing and coming and presenting to you, and they deserve a good evaluation, right? So when you're the designated evaluator, make sure that you pay full attention. That means that important WhatsApp message you just received, or your kids calling you from the side for something, or that, well, good looking guest who just walked into the meeting, you'll have to introduce yourself to them later. Yeah, they can wait. Right now, your full attention is on that speech. Nothing else matters, like the Metallica song. So just make sure that you have rapt attention on the speaker when they are on stage, because they deserve it. Now, this forms your preparation part. Now, evaluation is a special form, in Toastmasters that I always say, because you have a 7-minute speech. You've got to summarize it into 3 minutes. put it into that structure of, an opening and a closing. And in between that, you've got the good points, the areas of improvement, and the summary. And finish all of this in 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes, and well, you're disqualified. So that means you're not going to be able to present every single thing that you've written down, right? So which brings us to the presentation part of it. You've got to prioritize your points. So my suggestion or thumb rule in this would be that you have maybe 5 or 6 points maximum out of the positives. So you'll have to identify what it is that you want to see. If you've written 20, fair enough. There were 20 good things, but you're going to crystallize it into 6 or 5. Okay. And then you have areas of improvement. My suggestion to you would be 2, maximum 3. Okay. But 2 is best. Out of the 2, I would say 1 is on content. The other is on delivery. And you can put it in that form itself. On content, I suggest this. In terms of delivery, I suggest this. A good way to think of that is matter and manner. Matter is your content, manner is the delivery, right? So pick one on content and pick one on delivery, present that. Now, when you present a suggestion, remember, you noted earlier, I heard from many of you that you would observe vocal variety. Don't go and say your vocal variety could have been better. That does not help the speaker in any way. Explain where you thought the vocal variety was weak. Explain what you think you would have done, or you could, or the speaker could have done to make that better. So say in that scene where you were speaking in your grandmother's tone, perhaps a lower voice with a bit shaky could have enhanced this more. I would have said it like this and show them, demonstrate to them what you would have done. That helps them improve the vocal variety at that particular point of time. What is the purpose of vocal variety? First of all, the purpose is to convey the emotion. So bring that out. That maybe perhaps, changing the tonality would have helped you bring the emotion of that moment out better. Explain it in detail, exactly what it is that you think would have been better over there. It's the same with body gestures. So saying, it's not enough to say, okay, you could have used your hands better. Say that at that point of time when you were displaying the victory, if you had shown your expression like this, that would have brought out the emotion of that moment. Brought that moment to life, right? So explain exactly or clearly to the speaker what it is that you expect or you think would have made that moment in that story better. That's what helps the speaker move forward, not vocal variety, body language, just putting out those terms. Those don't help. Be very specific in what you're suggesting. Now, the purpose of your evaluation, like I said at the beginning, is to help that speaker improve. So you have to be positive in the end, right? So you have to start positively and you have to end positively. The last thing you want is that speaker runs away and doesn't come back. Now just picture this. You went to another club, let's say not your own club. You went to another club, you were invited as an evaluator. You went and said, what a speech. What a speech. What was that speech? That's the last time that speaker is going to come there, for sure. And secondly, that's the last time that club is ever going to invite you. So it's better to be positive. So explain in between where they could have improved, of course, as areas of improvement, but be positive. Encourage that speaker to come back. Let that speaker feel that with your evaluation, they can get better. That's the purpose of your evaluation. Be honest. Of course, you need to give constructive criticism so that they are able to improve. That's the purpose of it. Be honest, but sugarcoat it a bit. Yeah, let's be nice. Always summarize. Don't forget to, because if you don't practice it in your club, you're not going to be able to do that at the contest. Now, one thing I want to talk to you here at the time of presentation itself is the timing part of it. You have 3 lights. Use those lights to your advantage. Now, you know that the typical evaluation consists of 3 basic parts, which is your observations, then your areas of improvement, your recommendations, and your summary. Watch the lights. By the time you see the green, you should have already finished your analysis part of it and started with the recommendations. Okay, before the green comes, because the green comes at 2 minutes, right? So before that, you should have started your recommendation. If you have not, and you see this, you see the green, stop whatever you're doing, go to the recommendations. You're already a little behind time, so you want to make that up. So go directly to the recommendations. By the time you see the yellow or the amber, you want to start wrapping up. So move on to the summary. Okay, just start wrapping up, Red is something that you don't want to see, but if you do see the red, Don't risk it. You do have 30 seconds, but don't take a chance. Just go to your closing statement and finish it off, right? So watch out for these lights. Let these lights help you to time how you're going to present your evaluation. So when you see the green, make sure you are through with the observations and have started the recommendation, right? And after the amber, make sure that you are moving towards your summary. It's time to wrap up. All right, so practice this in your club meetings, and by the time you reach the contest level, it will be ingrained in your mind, and it'll just come automatically. Like clockwork. Timing is clockwork, right? The last thing that I want to talk about today is called packaging your evaluation. Now, why is packaging an evaluation important? The reason is, like I said, in a contest, all the evaluators are evaluating the same speech. Now, there are just this many ways that you can evaluate a speech. So everybody is in the end going to come up with very similar points. Maybe somebody will come up with something different, of course, but the points are still going to be similar. And the judges and the audience, of course, are going to repeatedly hear the same points, right? Where you can distinguish yourself is in the way you put it out there, the way you present it. So that's where packaging your evaluation is something that could distinguish you from everybody else. Try to start different. You see, in the end, it's a speech. And what do we know about speeches? Every speech has opening, body, and conclusion. We know that. Have an opening statement there. Put something out there that grabs people's attention to your evaluation right at the beginning. So try to start different. It could be maybe your one-line representation of the whole speech. What you thought, what stood out for you. Just could be, or it could be a short anecdote of something that triggered in your mind when you heard that speech. Or it could be a quotation or anything that's a little different, right? So try to have that impactful moment right at the beginning of your evaluation. Now, be innovative in your approach. Now, for example, let me give you some examples. If you had a speech in which somebody was speaking about maybe they used to play cricket when they were a kid, and that's what his story is based on. You can try and bring terms from cricket in that. I thought that was a that was a sixer that you hit. I thought that was a scoring shot. When you see something positive. So you see the way you displayed your characters in that speech. Oh, that was a 6 for me. You really hit it out of the park. Or the way you were able to use your vocal variety to bring out the emotion. Oh, for me that was a scoring shot. Try to use those terms, mix it up. Be innovative in the way you're saying the same thing. That okay, your vocal variety was good, except that you're using some terms from related to that speech as an adjective to describe that particular statement. So try to pepper your speech with words related to that theme, but just be innovative in the way you present. You're presenting the same thing, but just present it in in your own style, in something unique. There are many people who use acronyms. Sometimes people use 1, 2, 3, etc. to present, but just be innovative in the way you present it, because it'll be a little different from the way others are doing it. Like I mentioned, be very specific with your suggestions. If you feel, for example, that vocal variety was one area which could have been better, for me, I would say this is your opportunity to show the vocal variety yourself and enchant the audience. Because if you can do it really nicely and really bring that moment to life, it's bringing vocal variety in your speech, right? In your presentation, and that's going to stick out. So that's a good opportunity for you to showcase your skill as well, and plus help the speaker to understand what you're trying to convey. So be specific with your suggestions. Don't be general, don't be vague, be very specific, and pick the exact sentences or moments from that speech and say, in this moment, or you could have brought this character to life by doing this. Try to infuse some humor if you can. If humor is something that you're comfortable with, try to bring in some light moments in that. So for example, if your speaker had was talking about their birthday party, for example, how you can bring in some humor in there and say, okay, you described that birthday party so vividly. I felt like I was the kid who was standing at the back. I could just feel that chocolate cakes dripping down my cheek, right? Just bring yourself into it, entertain the audience, bring some light-hearted moments into it. Try to be innovative in this way that you use the theme of the meeting, maybe the location, if it's a real physical contest, of course, or there's a location which is specified in that speech. Maybe the speaker's name, try to bring it into your evaluation. the title of the speech, etc. Make it a, as a part of your evaluation. Just be creative. This shows, one, it shows your intelligence. Two, it's innovative and a little different, so it sets you apart. All of these together will help you package your evaluation a little better. If there are characters, you can use their names as part of your speech. Okay. Few tips that sometimes we come across speeches where we think, okay, there's absolutely nothing I can say in this. That speech was perfect. There's absolutely nothing that I can say in this. Here's one tip for you here. First of all, if your evaluation is good, you're not going to get an Oscar award or a PhD from Stanford University at the end of this. This is just your opinion, right? So just picture it as if you were giving this speech, what would you have done differently? That's a suggestion you can give. Now the speaker can choose to take your suggestion or not. It's up to them completely. But your idea is you're just trying to help them. So you're giving your opinion on it. There is no right or wrong in this. This is your suggestion, right? And just watch out for the basics before you look for anything complicated or unique in this. Watch out for the basics. Many times in our own gusto to tell our story, we miss out on some basics. So could the introduction or could the opening have been more emphatic? Could it have grabbed our attention? Maybe they express themselves. Could it have been expressed better or louder or sharper? Okay. So is the intro and the conclusion, did they tie into each other? Was the message specific or was it spread out into many different forms? Did it take different tangents? Sometimes what happens when we try to keep a story, tell a story exactly the way it happened, it goes in multiple directions because that's how life is. But in a speech, ideally, if you have a message, you want to keep it focused on that one message, right? Call to action. Did they just tell us the story or did they tell us how we can implement it also? Pauses could have been better. There could have been humor. Characters could have been better. So watch out for the basics. Any of these, you will find areas where you think that it could have been done differently. And that's what goes into your evaluation. Now I'm going to give you a few tips which are going to help you for sure. I guarantee you that these tips are going to help you become or improve your evaluating skills, right? At a meeting, watch other evaluators, watch how they are doing it. You can watch YouTube videos of evaluation contests, watch out what other evaluators note and see how they present it. Second and most important point I would say is whether you are the designated evaluator or not, nothing is stopping you from taking a piece of paper and making notes about any speech, whoever is speaking, even if you're the evaluator or not, doesn't matter. You make your points, you compare it with what the evaluator says later on, right? This helps you in improve your evaluation in every meeting, irrespective of whatever role you are. You may be the timer, you may be the TMOD, you may be grammarian, whatever you may be. You can just take a piece of paper and make notes on that particular speech and then compare your points with what the designated evaluator says. When your VP education calls out for evaluation roles, raise your hand. Evaluation is an opportunity for you to improve not only your evaluation, but also your speech writing capabilities, right? Because what you suggest to someone, you will apply for yourself and you're going to improve. So never shy from an opportunity to be an evaluator. Once you give your evaluation, ask for feedback. You don't always get feedback as an evaluator. Sometimes a general evaluator gives you suggestions, not always. So you have somebody, one of your mentors, one of the seniors in your club, ask them, okay, I'm going to give an evaluation today. Please give me feedback. You can ask a couple of people, you can take their suggestions and then you can improve it the next time. Invite Hashim for dinner. You don't have to, that's just part and parcel of it. I go out for lunch also. So whichever is comfortable for you, it's fine. Never discourage a speaker. Whatever happens, never discourage a speaker because your success comes in them coming back and delivering that speech better and then coming to you and telling, thank you for your tips. It's because of you that I'm better today. There is no greater compliment you can receive than that. When a speaker comes back and says, I applied your tips and my speech is better, that's your greatest compliment, right? So apply these tips. Remember, practice, practice, practice. You can do it at every meeting. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of effort. But if you take these small steps, 100%, I guarantee you, you're moving forward in your way as an evaluator. Last and final, if you've forgotten every single slide that I've shown you, but you just want to remember one sentence, aim not to win, but to try and help make a better speaker. And as long as you stick to this fundamental principle, You can't go wrong. And I'm definitely sure 2022 is the year that you're going to shine as an evaluator. So if you have any questions, we can quickly take those before we wrap up. The timer didn't show me red, so I'm not sure, but I'm quite sure I've overshot my time already. I generally do that. If you have any questions, we can take those quickly. Otherwise, we can just.
Can I ask a question, Hashim?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
As you mentioned in the beginning, what we should take a note when a speaker is speaking. So how you would do it, like what you would, what kind of notes you take, because it's if you're trying to write too much, then you lose the focus on the speaker and how they're performing it all. So what usually I say, I mean, you're a champion evaluator. So what?
I see. What I do is I don't write down the sentences or anything that the speaker has said. I just note that point. What was the emotion at that point? What were they doing? So that I don't miss anything. The idea is, I mean, there could be some. Well, you have to watch the speech also. Don't get carried away with the speech because you have to make notes. But watch the speech. You don't need the exact sentences, but just some keywords which stood out for you, some moments which clicked for you, some areas where you think it could have been better. These are what you want to note. Observe carefully what happens. That's important. Now, the problem with looking at your paper and keeping on writing is that you miss out on what happens. I will give you one example. There was one evaluation contest a couple of years ago, I think division level contest. There was a young lady who was presenting a speech. She had these curly hair, right? I mean, lot of hair. And in between, she used to keep doing this in between her speech, because, when she used to move, the hair would come in front and she would keep doing this. Out of all those people, in my suggestions, I had given to her that, perhaps you could use a slide or a clip just to keep it there, because, it stopped you from expressing your actual emotions at that point of time. And that was actually a winning moment. Some people in the audience actually clapped for that. So, I mean, watch out for what happens. These could be the differences between, those small points. So you don't want to spend too much time in writing sentences down. It's more that you just note, observe the impact of those moments and write that down. That's more important. Yeah.
Thanks, Hashim.
Right. Usually when there are no questions, it means that either nobody understood a thing or everybody understood everything. So both of us. Kalpana, go ahead.
I can raise one question. Like if sometimes we feel like there are too many positives, maybe 5-6 positive points that we may not be able to tell everything, but strikingly whichever comes to the first three or maximum 4, and 2 recommendations. That's what time we may have. So how do we cover with that?
You prioritize. Yeah, you have to prioritize which are the points that you think really impacted you when you observed that speech, and present that. Now, see, there are certain things that you need to note. At one point of time, once we've done enough evaluations, we got to stop looking at things like, okay, the vocal variety was good, the gestures were good, the stage movement was good. Instead, you bring out, your vocal variety, stage movement really brought out the emotion of that speech, because that's the impact of that. It's not exactly what you did, but what was the result of that. So, this will also help you shorten the number of points that you have. If you start writing down, okay, you were at this point, this was good, at this point, this was good, you may have 10, 20. So what you want to really bring out is that your use of this really helped you to bring out the emotion of that moment, or that character was brought to life, or, the message was strengthened. These kind of things are what actually would give you, make your evaluation sound really good. So you have to look at what you observed and prioritize which you think had the maximum impact, and which, when you present, will have maximum impact on the judges and the audience, of course. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So the words that we use should be very, very precise and very selected words that we should use, right?
Yeah. So you want to see what in the end, you also want to do well in that competition that you're taking part in. So you want to find out which observations will have the maximum impact on the audience and the judges. So you want to prioritize what you have, and you have to watch out for time. I say go through don't spend, you don't need to be very slow during your observation part. I say go through it, read as much as you can, just go through it. you want to slow down a little bit when you're giving recommendations, because there you want to explain it and demonstrate it. So there you need some time. So I'd say just rush through your observations. Well before the green, you should stop that and start with your observations, because if you have more observations, you can come back later on. Once you're done with your recommendations, you can just bring back, in addition, I thought these were good as well, if you have time, or bring it into your summary if you can. But I'd say, spend a little bit time on your, although recommendations is only 30%, what I generally feel is that judges vote for the people who have better recommendations. It's just a mentality thing. So I say give a little bit time on your recommendations. That's quite important. Pick only 2, maximum 3. Because if you do more, the speaker is going to feel bad. I mean, they had 5 recommendations. My speech was lousy. So pick 2. I'd say pick the important 2, demonstrate it well. That adds a lot of value. All right. So I think I've taken enough time. So thank you so much. I hope these will help you in your journey of evaluation this year. And with that, let me hand back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pandian. Over to you, sir.